I'm 28 years old and I make about $25,000 per month. Now, whenever it comes to how I make my money, the bulk of my revenue comes from 5 different revenue streams, or really 5 different side hustles. One is Turo, or peer-to-peer car sharing. The other is franchise consulting. The third one is course sales through Teachable Courses. The fourth one is content creation on platforms like YouTube and more recently TikTok. And my fifth and newest one is renting out RVs and soon to be my camper van on platforms like Outdoorsy. Now, over the years, I've made a lot of videos talking about how I use these revenue streams to make the income that I make. So that's not what I want to focus on in this video. Instead, what I want to talk about in this video is some of the key things that I do on a day-to-day basis in order to keep up with the demanding schedule that having 5 different revenue streams requires. So in this video, I'm going to be going over some of the tips, tricks, and habits that I've taken up over the years that have allowed for me to more than 10x my income. So let's get started. Now, before we dive in, I would like to say one last time for the week that I currently have a Black Friday sale on all of my courses. If you're interested in checking these out, I will include a link down in the description below. I will also have a link down in the pinned comment section as well. These are on sale. They will be until this coming up Sunday. So once Sunday has passed, they are regularly priced once again. So if you want to get them at a cheap price, now is the time to do so. While you guys are at it, if you guys could also do me a huge favor, if you could hit the like button and hit the notification bell for the YouTube algorithm, I would greatly appreciate it. This helps my channel grow because it helps let YouTube know that you guys are enjoying my content, and thus it pushes my videos out to a new audience. So if you could do that, I would greatly appreciate it. So with all of that out of the way, let's dig into this video. So whenever it comes to growing your income and really taking on multiple revenue streams, you will very quickly realize that what you do on a day-to-day basis is extremely important, because if you aren't regimented with what you're doing on a day-by-day basis, you're not going to be able to keep up with the revenue streams that you need to keep up with in order to grow your income. That's probably one of the biggest downsides of having multiple revenue streams, is it's almost like having multiple different jobs, and there is sometimes a lot to juggle. But the good news is I have really perfected this craft over the years, and though I still have a ton to learn, I definitely feel as though I've come a long way in this journey. So my very first tip for you all is to either wake up early or stay up late. One of the keys that I've found in growing my own income and fitting so much into a single day has been making my days longer. And the way that I do that is by waking up earlier than I used to wake up. I used to consistently wake up at 7, 8, sometimes 9 o'clock in the morning. And over the last couple of years, I have really tried hard to become a morning person, and I feel like I'm finally there. Now, most days I wake up at 5 a.m. and I get a solid 2 to 3 hours worth of work in before everybody else starts their day. By doing this, I've been able to gain an additional 2 to 3 hours worth of work in every single day compared to the average worker. And as a result, I'm able to tack on about 21 hours worth of work by the end of the week. That's half of a work week. That's a part-time job. So by doing this, I've really been able to find myself to be able to get ahead and to be able to fit so much more into my schedule, way more than I used to be able to whenever I was waking up at a normal time. But the good thing is that you don't necessarily have to wake up early. If you are instead a night owl, you could just simply stay up later. And that's something that I think oftentimes gets overlooked. If you look online how to become successful or how to become wealthy, the number one tip that you'll see is to wake up early. But I don't think the key is to wake up early. I think the key is to just fit more time in your day. And the best way of doing that is either waking up early or staying up late. So if you're not an early bird type of person, then you could simply tack on an extra 2 to 3 hours into your day at night. And rather than spending your evenings or late nights playing video games or surfing the internet, you can instead spend that time building a side hustle, an income stream, or growing your knowledge in a specific field. My second tip for you guys is to stick to a schedule. Now, I know that the idea of doing the same thing every single day is like nightmare fuel for many of you watching this channel, but I'm not gonna lie, it's something that I really enjoy, and I find a lot of comfort in it. I have learned over the years that I thrive in routine, and the moment that I start veering from that routine, I really start to struggle. As a result, I can tell you what I do almost every single day to a T. The exact details of the schedule vary a little bit, but for the most part, the structures of the days are the exact same. This is my typical schedule right here, and you will notice that it starts at 5 a.m. Every morning I wake up at 5, and for the first 2 to 3 hours of my day, I'll typically edit YouTube videos for this channel or for my vlog channel that I have with HP. I then get a run-in at 7:45 in the morning. I then get home around 9:30 in the morning, at which point I will read emails while eating breakfast. Then from 10 to 2, I work at my desk. This is typically where I get either clerical work that I need to get done for my own side hustles, or it's whenever I do consulting work for the consulting firm I work for. Then I film videos from 2 to 5 p.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's whenever I film content for this channel. I film content for HP9's channel. It's whenever I film TikToks or course content. I typically try to do this in the middle or late afternoon, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If I'm not filming, then I'm simply working at my desk at this time. Then 6 to 7 p.m. emails, 7 to 8 p.m. dinner, and 8 to 9 p.m. I typically am on my computer doing some work, planning for the next day while simultaneously watching TV. Now, of course, this schedule does change a little bit here and there if I have to. For example, if I have to watch my niece, if I have a family function, if I'm sick, if I have something come up, there are of course times where I have to change my schedule. But for the most part, if I can help it, these are what my days looks like almost 90% of the time. Now, this is just an example of what my days look like, and it's really the flow that I've found has worked well for me. And it's not a matter of copying what I do. Instead, it's trying to find what works best for you. I've experimented with almost every facet of my schedule to try to figure out how I am most optimized. I've learned that I am best working at my desk in the morning because I'm most focused. I've learned that I'm best filming videos in the afternoon because I don't look quite as tired and I'm a little bit more energetic. I have learned when I am best at doing certain tasks, and I've really molded my schedule to fit that. So whatever you are good at, I would encourage you to figure out when you're best at doing these specific tasks and then really try to build a schedule that is customized to you, one that can be replicated day in and day out, that you can stick to. That way you can really be as optimized and efficient as possible. The next tip that I have is to stay organized. I am obsessed with organization. I really love organization in almost every facet of my life, almost to a fault, because I will choose function over form every single day of the week, even if that means labeling all of my belongings with duct tape and Sharpie. But I do think that organization is an incredibly crucial role in your overall success in trying to fit as much as you can in a single day. If you're disorganized, and you probably waste a lot of time trying to find essential items that you need to get your day done. And if you are organized and you're able to cut all of that wasted time out. For me, I can tell you at any point in the day where different tools are in my house, where things are on my computer, where things are in my office. I know where every single thing is, and if I ever need it, I can find it on a second's notice rather than having to search for it for 15, 20, or 30 minutes. The next tip is to cut out the revenue streams that don't make money and to double down on the ones that do. This is something that I know I have struggled with myself over the years because I do not consider myself to be a quitter, and thus I have a hard time cutting ties with a project that simply is no longer worth my time. For example, I used to be a freelancer. I've talked about this a lot on this channel. I was essentially a full-time freelancer from 2019 until the middle of 2020. And it wasn't until this YouTube channel started making a lot of money that I was able to then quit freelancing and then pivot that time into this channel. But the process of cutting ties with freelancing was something that was really difficult for me, and I felt like I was quitting it even though I wasn't quitting anything. I was just pivoting my focus. This was something that I did way too late, and I really should have quit freelancing months before I actually did it. I can think of so many different examples of the same type of thing where I was pursuing a revenue stream that simply wasn't worth my time, and it took me a long time to finally come to terms with that and cut ties with it altogether. I would encourage you to really thoughtfully sit down and figure out which side hustles are actually worth your time, which ones are showing an ROI on the time that you're investing in them. And the ones that are the ones that you should be doubling down on, and the ones that aren't are the ones that you should either pull back on or quit on altogether. Then my last and final tip is one that I think could be a huge game changer. It's one that I've been implementing in my own life over the last couple of months, and it's one that has really helped me stay focused, and that is the alarm clock method. Now, what this means is whenever you are sitting at your desk or really doing anything, and you know that you want to be working on that task for a specific period of time, I will set an alarm clock on my phone, letting me know how long I'm allowed to work on that task. So for example, I use this a few different ways. I do it with tasks that I know that I'll get carried away with. So for example, with my YouTube videos, I know that I can get carried away with editing my videos. So as a result, I will allocate a specific time to editing, and I will set an alarm for that period of time. And once that alarm clock has gone off, I am done editing for the time being. I will revisit it tomorrow. I need to move on to the next task, regardless of where I've stopped. Now, this probably goes hand in hand with just thriving off of structure, like I mentioned earlier, but I personally have found that whenever I have a clear and predefined start and end time, I found that I work on tasks better, I'm more efficient, and it really motivates me to do the task, complete it, and then move on to the next one. Efficiency in optimizing my daily life is something that I've been really fascinated with since I was in high school, and as a result, I've spent a lot of time, energy, and effort trying to refine this process, and I finally feel like after nearly 10 years, I've been able to really find a process and a system that works for me. But with that being said, you guys, I hope that this video gave you some insight in how I fit so much in a day and how I've been able to grow my income from making virtually $0 per month to making $25,000 per month. If you guys have any questions, comments, if you have anything to add, I would love to hear it. So make sure to leave a comment down below. And while you guys are at it, make sure to hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell. And I will see you guys in the next video.